Hello, welcome to McCaffrey Crafts, my weekly live stream. And I nearly didn't do today because I've been arguing all day with issues. So it's I can tell you guys about them later if you're interested. But yeah, I was in Prague last week, so there was no live stream. So I thought I'd better come on here again and give you guys a little update about what I'm actually working on and different things. So always it takes a few minutes for people to join the live stream. So if you're watching this retrospectively, hello from the past. And there's Steve Kelly jumping in straight away. Says hello to you. Good afternoon or good evening or good night or whatever day part of the world is. But yeah, I'm worn out, man. I'm like I've been like an error happened and I was charged a lot of money, and the person who did the error was quite good about it and trying to help out. But yeah, there was like there's a business error was done, and it was pretty difficult. But wait, let's see now. And then there's this there's this guy keeps messaging me now for the past hour, and he said to me he's interested in buying a walking stick, or sorry, a shillelagh. And I was like, okay. And he goes, you may I think it's just a blackthorn shillelagh. I saw it in a wrestling match once. And I was like, okay, can you be a bit more descriptive? And he says, oh, maybe 2 years ago I saw some video, and in one of the video there was six sticks, and one of the six was the one I wanted. And I was like, "Can you be a bit more specific?" He said, "No, it's just in one of your videos the about blackthorn." And I was trying to tell him, "Look, I have 1,200 videos on YouTube. I do have a pretty good memory, but it's pretty hard to remember something. Like these sticks move fast. Like when I make them, they go out. So sometimes it is pretty hard. So if you see a stick I made 2 years ago, like it's not available now. It's gone, long gone. And the best way always is just go to McCaffreycrafts.com. I will showcase some of the sticks that I've worked on this week. I can tell you about what I'm working on. I can tell you about my day today, which was if you want a vent or a therapy session. I'm not in the mood for talking to anyone at the moment, but I'm coming on here because dealing with call centers and dealing with, like I got stung from this customs fee that it was an error and I shouldn't have got charged at all, and trying to deal with it has been a pain in my behind all day. And actually, I'm going to tell you guys because it actually is a cautionary tale for anyone that might have to go through the same thing recently, especially if you order something from the UK. It's very specific to ordering something from the UK. And it might be good to give you guys some background of what happened. And let's see. So Mary Miles is saying hello. Hi, Mary. How's everything in Wyoming? Hope it's good. Election season's nearly upon you there in the US. Paul Carter says good afternoon to Mary. Paul, what about good afternoon to Francis? I've had a bad day today. I need some support from you guys. Hi, Paul. Good to see you as well, and it's good to see a few of you guys popping up here as well. So I will tell you first my sad story about today, and actually I might make a YouTube video about this. I've actually been so busy. I've been trying to like post videos and do different things, and I have so much things going on at the moment. I'm trying to sort out like when you run a business, like it's not all smooth sailing. You do have to usually try to find your time to be dealing with loads of different problems and different things as well. Great, thank you for joining the stream. Paul says recovering from rotator cuff surgery. Wow, that's my biggest fear in the world is the rotary cuffs, right here, because if you're using your shoulder a lot, um so Paul, like what's the recovery on that? Like it's isn't it like 6 to 8 months after you get your rotary cuff surgery? Like the thing about is when your rotary cuff is like here. So when you damage your rotary cuff, usually it can't repair itself or it can't grow back. You will probably need an operation. For me, I had like bicep tendonitis and a few of these things, so you can use resistant bands and different things. And there's various exercises you can do as well with the rotary cuff. So Steve Kelly says every time oh yeah, sorry, let me go on to the next one. Every time I have to call a customer service, the person who finally answers never speaks good English. I hate that. Yeah, I had that too as well. I didn't quite understand what he was saying, and it was like, oh, I've been on to call centers all day, man. I'll tell my story in a second. Wait a few more of you join. Hope you are well, my main man. I'm not. I'm having a tough week. Tough week with dealing with nonsense, like complete nonsense from like, oh, so So was that when you come back from your holiday, like, you expect things to run smoothly and stuff, and you have people looking after different things for you, but it's never quite smooth sailing as well. Forge the Femme says, "Hi Francis, I finished up some sticks, got them in Etsy, and Etsy removed all but one, sold as I was selling weapons. Yeah, same thing happened to me. I'm you know, I sell walking sticks, and if anything is associated with shillelaghs or blackthorn or anything like that, Etsy removed them there straight away. So yeah, there's it's becoming harder and harder to sell online, and you really have to spend years to build up a community and a name and a brand and different things as well. Etsy have been putting up their fees like crazy. It used to be 3%, then it was 10% and 15%, but they put all of these extra fees on you that realistically they usually take about a good 30% of your sale, because they have withdrawal fees, they have in this fees, they have Etsy now want to charge you for advertising. So usually Etsy, they Google advertise on your behalf. And, basically they're just Google advertising everyone on their site, and they're charging people on Etsy for that. So there's a bit of a mass exodus coming from Etsy at the moment. I've had a few people reach out to me because they knew I've been very critical of Etsy what's his name? Steve, or I can't remember what's the dude's name, somebody called Steve or Ted or someone from the integrity department of Etsy. I argued with for a few months to say, look, the Blackthorn walking stick is a walking aid, and that's its primary functions. That is how I market it, and that is how it is sold. A walking stick is not a weapon; it is used as a walking aid. Um, if a walking aid was a weapon, why do every airline in the world have it in their terms and conditions and policies that a walking stick is allowed to be carried onto the plane, and because the passenger needs it to get it to and from their seats? It doesn't make any sense at all. A knitting needle's banned on a flight, but a walking stick isn't. But like, it's kind of insane. Mary, I ended up having three surgeries on my shoulder. Yeah, you were saying that before. So it's never a pleasant thing. Recovery is tough, especially in your own on your own. Yeah, like you know, like you just like when you're recovering on your own, you have nothing to do except staring out the window or something, and the days are quite long, and it's just like it is, like no matter how strong you are mentally, it annoys you. It's like it's not like you have a mental health issue. It's more like it just pisses you off, and you have a genuine reason to be pissed off. Like I think that when you have a genuine reason to be sad, that's not a mental health issue. When you have a genuine reason to be pissed off, that's when you're genuine reason to be angry, that's not mental health. They're just normal human responses. Recovering from surgery is not something that is ideal or good in any way at all. See, Miriam, I have several rips in both cups, waiting to do the surgery as well. Yeah, like surgery has to be done like sooner or later. It's just the annoying thing about surgery, as a lot of you guys know, is just that it puts you out of work. And if you're reliant on work and you have people that rely on you for money and for surviving, if anything happens to you, all the people that are around you, they don't get their salaries, they don't get their payment. So a lot of people do rely on others for for their survival, for their income, for different things. And if something like a shoulder injury takes out a person and they can't work anymore and their business is affected, then all the people that benefit from that business, like even for myself, like I support a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are reliant on me for different things, so it's kind of annoying. Jeffrey, hi Francis, how are things? And let's see, make sure you do all the PT and take care of yourself easy if you can. Yeah, like it's a process and it's annoying to go through, and healthcare, it's not getting better, man. They've made everything just so more annoying, and it's like everything's annoying. I'm very annoyed today, guys. I'm trying not to be, but everything is annoying me today. I've had to be on to call centers. But I need to tell you guys about this problem, especially if you have a business. If you're a business owner or you're involved in buying things from the UK to Ireland, or buying anything from the UK, there's something that you have to be very aware of. And John is saying, "Good evening, John. Here, John, you'll find this quite interesting as well, like of what happened to me today, because some good information just to be aware of, because anyone who is in the UK needs to know about this, because and it's actually quite an issue. So I'll tell you my story now because I've been off waffling there for a while. I think there's enough of you on here as well. So I made an order from. Thank you, Eugene. Appreciate that. Hi, be well. So I made just an order from a UK company. I needed just a few supplies for my business. Um, it only cost £70. So what happened was when the company in the UK were filling out their customs forms, rather than putting £70 down, what they put down was £7,000. They forgot to put the little dot in there. So they decided they were going to send it with UPS, and they put down my business, name, and they sent the shipment. But on the customs forms from the UK to Ireland, it said that I was getting, a 3 kg box, a little small order for, and I only paid £70. £70. But on the customs form, it was just a clerical error, and they put down the fee as £7,000. So I got the package just before, last a few weeks ago or something like that. Thought nothing more of it. But what has happened is that there was a customs charge on this transaction of €2,200. So €2,200 customs charge on something I ordered for £70, 70. Okay. Um, so what happened is because I have a business account with UPS, the courier, United Parcel Services, what UPS decided to do was pay the customs charge to UK Customs of 2,200 and whip the money out of my account by direct debit. So this was quite shocking because just because someone in the UK put down on the customs form that they had sent me £7,000 value. Now, it was such a small package, like it was only £70, but like it was just a genuine mistake they made. They just forgot to put the little dot. So instead of putting 70.00, they put 7000 and forgot the dot on the customs form. So just because of that little clerical error, someone will get charged customs on that. So if you are a UK seller and you are sending something abroad to someone else, and it applies to people in the UK a lot, that if you put down the wrong customs amount, the person receiving can be automatically taken. Say there's a lot of businesses that are on direct debits with courier companies. So if the courier company is used, literally they will just take the money straight out of your account. So yesterday evening about 5:30, it's been about a week since I come back from my holiday. I was like, right, I need to check. I saw a direct debit come through from UPS, and I was like, Jesus, that's way higher, than normal as well. Um, yeah, I'll explain this, John, because like there's a I'll tell you what I've done and the steps, and I'll explain the process of what they said to me. Sounds like UK is messing with you. It was actually an innocent mistake by the supplier. They just forgot a dot, but it's they've whipped €2,200 out of my account, which is annoying. Yes, WTF, exactly. Yikes. One real. Hope you have a better weekend. Surely you will get it back if you have proof of purchase. Yeah. But here's the thing, John. Like, I'm not dealing with UPS because UPS have said it's not our fault. We're just doing what the supplier told us to do. We are just doing what UK Customs. Now, your money isn't with us, UPS. UK Customs have it. So you have to complain to UK Customs and try to get the money back. So the first stage I did, John, was I contacted the company in the UK, and I explained to them what happened. I said, look, this shipment that you sent me, and I had the invoice from UPS, which showed that they had written down the value of £7,000 rather than 70. Now, the first thing they did was the guy was very good. He admitted, okay, yes, they checked their records, they made a mistake, they declared the wrong value, and he didn't know what to do. So I just said, look, you contact your UPS business manager and I'll contact my UPS business manager. And, if you can send an email just admitting and showing what happened. I had the original invoice from the like proof of purchase on it. And I contacted UPS and said, look, this order is erroneous. I never received or made an order for 7,000, and it was a clerical error by the supplier. So the supplier sent me an email which I sent on to UPS. I had the invoice as well. And so there is a process, and it's kind of a bit annoying. So what you have to do is you don't deal with UPS. You have to deal with their brokerage department. So you specifically have to call what's called their customs brokerage department, which is completely separate, of course. Everyone is always trying to say blame someone else and stuff. So the only way to get to this is called through a call center. But every time you call through the call center, you have to go through an operator who's to transfer your call to brokerage. And by the time it gets to brokerage, it just automatically hangs up. Or sometimes you get through to brokerage, someone will answer and then the call hangs up. Like literally, like 5 times I had to get through to brokerage. And I'm still waiting for my business account manager to get back to say, look, this is it. So eventually, of course, there's a headache, man. As Steve's saying as well, is what a headache. So I had to first call the supplier, speak to them, speak to their accounts department. They had to investigate it. They had to come back to me. I had to be like, of course, I wasn't like necessarily blaming them. Even it was just an innocent mistake on that regard. And I said, look, it's an innocent mistake. What I was annoyed with was UPS, like, just whipped it out of my account, on direct debits. And if I didn't spot this, it would have just gone unnoticed. So eventually the account manager from UPS called me back, and she's very I said, hey, this has happened. She goes, yeah, happens all the time. And I goes, what do you mean it happens all the time? I said, oh, last time you said, oh, you only get charged 2,200. The last call I had was for 30,000, so like it's only a small amount. And I was like, yeah, but to you, it might be a small amount, but to me, 2,200 euro is a good chunk of money. It's a good chunk of change. And she said, don't worry about it, and you will get your money back eventually. And I didn't like the way she said eventually, and I'm trying to control my anger brewing as well. And I said, what do you mean by eventually? She said, well, it's not our fault, UPS. So for us to investigate it, you have to pay 68 euro admin fee. So she said, we're not doing nothing until you pay 68 euro. So they wanted 68 euro off of me just to investigate this. And they said, I have to prove it. So I said, look, I have the reference number from UPS. I have the invoice from the company. I have the weight of the item. So I said, there's no way that I got 7,000 euro worth of supplies in a tiny little box for 70 euro or 70 pounds. So I sent them all the details. I sent them the information I had from the UK company and everything. And she said, look, it's with UK Customs now because UPS just paid UK's customs, and then because you have a business account with us, we just whipped it out of your account. And she said the first thing to do is probably cancel your direct debit and not be on direct debit with the customs with any courier companies at the moment, because like how it works with the courier companies is when you have a business account, like you get 30 to 45 days credit. It's done in arrears. And it's just you sign a contract and then they just kind of check, they send you a few invoices, and it just comes out once a month. You don't have to do too much, you don't have to pay attention too much, and it's all pretty easy and straightforward. um but like she advised me to cancel direct debit. So anyone in the UK or in different countries, if you are on a direct debit with a courier company, cancel it immediately, because if you ever get a customs charge through, like, you could be ordering something personal and the guy could just fill out the wrong customs value in the form, they'll just whip it out of your account, and then the whole process, they said, is going to take probably a few months to get it back. They said that UPS have to contact the customs brokerage department of UPS. And I said, I've tried 5 times. So this account manager said, look, I'll send the email for you. And I said, can I just have their email address? I said, no, no, we'll send it for you. And then the brokerage department will have to make an application to the UK customs to say, we need to get this money back. An error was made. And she said, usually it can take like a minimum of 6 weeks, but probably a few months. So for something from no fault of my own, from doing absolutely nothing wrong, UPS have stolen 2,200 euro out of my account just because I had like a business account with them. And anytime there's customs fees associated with me or my business, they just automatically just whip it out of there, which is pretty annoying. So like when you are putting in the customs value on sending an item back or buying something or anything, always put down a low value and double check that you put the value, because the person you're sending to could get stung really badly with customs fees. So now you really want to put like low values and be very careful with this, because if you, again, I'm telling this as a cautionary tale to anyone who's involved in business that it might affect as well. Just be very careful with this. So Dennis saying hello. John says, "As long drawn out process. I've been there. Took 3 weeks to get mine back, and they sent a check that was addressed wrong. Then they paid it eventually into my account. But I know what you mean. Yeah, like it's like trying to get a refund from, like occasionally when an item gets lost in the post or something. It happens maybe every probably 200 items you send. There's always about one that someone nicked it. Usually, what happens is in the sorting center, someone nicks it because everything is scanned along the way, and then what happens is it gets scanned through a German. Anytime your UPS goes through those German sorting centers, because like the thing is, it goes from Ireland. Sometimes it ships direct from Ireland to US. Sometimes it goes to Ireland or the UK and ships from there, or sometimes it goes to Germany. It just depends on their business needs of what way they decide they're going to ship it to the USA. But anytime it goes to the German sorting center, which is kind of rare, they only do that when it's really busy. Um, there's always some guy in there with sticky fingers that ends up stealing it, and then like you have to refund the customer or send them a replacement straight away, which is fine. So the customer doesn't lose out. The only person that loses out is me, because like it's not like UPS give me the money back. They have a process in place, and then usually what happens is you can't make a claim for a lost item until 3 weeks afterwards. But then they put this little kind of caveat in there that if you don't lodge your complaint within 3 weeks and 4 or 5 weeks go by, it's outside the time zone now of 45 days or whatever, and you can't do it. So like they don't make things easy, man. It's like, yeah, Sandra, it's very tough. Black Irish Raid Activate. I was raging today, man, because I've been on to call center. I've been on to my bank. I had to deal with the supplier in the UK, trying to find the person in accounts who will speak to me, because you have to like, once you get speaking to the right person, it's fine. But like you have to kind of explain your. So I called the UK supplier, spoke to a receptionist, then she put me on to a manager. Then the manager wanted nothing to do it. Then I had to go to another one, and it was just like all of this. You're pretty calm for an Irishman with lady by your side. Yeah, no, I've been pretty annoyed all day. I've been trying to stay away from everyone because I was like I nearly had to go with my dad earlier too. I was just like really raging about everything. My dad's just coming up telling me some nonsense about a stick, or oh don't. He said something so like innocent to me, and I nearly snapped him. I was like, he's saying, "Oh, don't be posting the sticks if they're still, a bit," because he sometimes he's working on a stick and I think it's finished and I bring it upstairs to work on, and then just to put the final finishes and touch on. And then he was anyway. So I nearly snapped the head off him today. Even the kids were like drive me spear, and I was like, I just need to get away. I just need to get away for everyone. Alcohol for takeaway. I can't eat takeaway anymore. They've taken another thing, Mary, is my bloody cholesterol is too high. I can't eat takeaway anymore. I did my blood tests because another thing that annoyed me too. Oh, everything's annoying me today, guys. Like I was supposed to have my CT scan and to meet my urologist for my very first checkup since my cancer operation, and like then they called me this week to say that, oh, the CT machine had a malfunction. Everyone's appointments pushed back by a month. You have to wait for a month. So I got my blood work done as well, as you do. So basically, after my testicular cancer, I've kind of trying to, boost my testosterone and stuff. So I've been eating like lots of red meats and all of this type of food and eggs and all of these things, and trying to boost. And I've been doing a bit of intermittent fasting, which eating lots of bacon and sausage and different things. And all of these things I was doing has put my cholesterol up to 8.4, and apparently I'm like a 7% risk of getting a heart attack, and if you get to 10%, then they have to put you on the cholesterol pills or something. But like this is just my eating habit for the last while, and I have to. So I can't. I have to take a break from frying anything. I have to take a break from red meats. They said, and eat these like yogurts for rabbits, like these plant stanols, and man, it's like everything's annoying me because like they're telling me not to eat things that I want to eat. They're telling me it's high cholesterol. They told me my appointment's being cancelled. Um, they told me they took 2,200 out of my account because of some error that I didn't even make. And man, it's like it's never ending. It's been never ending this week. Like, let's see now. Geez, what a bureaucratic mess it is. And like when you like UPS are amazing for shipping to the USA in that, 97% of the time they're all right, and it gets there pretty fast. And UPS cover more areas than DHL. DHL is a bit slower, but they're better in certain states and stuff. It's really weird. You have to kind of like pick and choose between your courier. Like sometimes the post office is quicker than the couriers in some instances. Like there's various things. I'm in your area the 9th and 10th of July. Will you be open? I should do. I was going to go away for July, but now since my CT scan has been pushed back for my cancer, I have to wait another month in Ireland before I can go and sort out all the problems that I have in my wife's business in Asia, which I have to solve as well. Never ending, man. Never ending. Overdoing the Wild Atlantic Way on the bikes. Yeah. But James, if you are coming here, just tell me like the name. Sorry, tell me the day or two before, just so I make sure I'm around and I remember, because like I could be out and about or different things. You'll be changing shipping companies, I'm sure. The thing about shipping countries is they have like a stranglehold. Like, yeah, maybe I'll need to bring on my business to TNT, or like FedEx are too expensive. I can get like the best negotiated rates with UPS, and I don't go for their like express saver. I go for the next two or three categories up, which can deliver it in like 3 days. They say, and I have a business account with like DHL as well, but that's on direct debit too. And DHL have been stinging me because like the problem with DHL is that they calculate the volumeric weight of a package, and I have the measurements all down for the volumeric weight. But when they're putting it through their machine, sometimes it adds on the way the angle is or something. And then if it goes over a certain volumeric weight, they put on all of these extra costs. Like, you have to have everything within certain sizes to get your business rates. It's never easy, man. No Irish based food then as well. Yeah, I can't eat nothing, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I might break the rules tonight. But yeah, I'm supposed to eat like a rabbit for the next few months to get my cholesterol down. Like, this is what I'm being told anyway. It's like everyone is telling me things that I just want to do it. Have you kissed the Blarney Stone? I wonder have I or not. I can't remember. Because I was young when I was there. And I don't know that I kissed it or not. Probably didn't leave kiss on. I don't think I have actually. This is a fake text. You'll It'll work out as well. Yes. I don't know, man. I think like when you get a number of annoying, like these aren't bad things, they're just annoying. They're just like, I'm not like gonna go home and cry and stay awake all night looking at myself in the mirror going, why me? I'm just kind of pissed off and annoyed with these processes and the inefficiencies, and like being told things. And I don't like dealing with people when they're just like, oh, it's not our system, and they're just passing you from person to person. It's just like, that's why, like, with me and McCaffrey Crafts, like, if anyone says, "Look, there's an issue here with the size. I ordered the wrong size." Boom, I'll try to help them as quick as possible, because I know how it works with dealing with annoying companies. I'd get it anyway. You need a treat for putting up with all that. I do need to treat myself to something as well. Irish Al, what's the crack? Not too bad. Let's see. James is brilliant. Question: how long does Hazel take to season? Quicker than blackthorn. Like sometimes within a year or a year and a bit, you get hazel season. Okay, it's actually not too bad. I'll order another FU stick tomorrow, my friend. I appreciate that, my man, because yeah, you did order for me already. But I added some six or was no, I ordered 10 new sticks to the website just a while ago as well. Uh, oh, I just realized 12th of July is around the corner. Yeah. Do you get a lot of Northern Irish vacation down your way? Yes. Yes. For those who don't know, the 12th of July is the Orange Parade marching season. And usually, like, the Orange Parades will sometimes traditionally go through routes that are predominantly Catholic. And the 12th of July parades are celebrating, isn't it? The Battle of the Boyne and James of whatever and different things. So a lot of people in the Catholic Republican areas of Northern Ireland, they don't like when they see all the Orange men and the Protestants walking through the area celebrating this battle of killing Irish people or something like that. And Drumcree was one place that there was issues with over the years. Usually in Belfast, it's more like a lot of the teenagers, I think, causing the problems on both sides. What I've seen of it as well. But yeah, the violence escalates, things get a bit wild. It's one of these things that has causes a lot of problems in Northern Ireland. and there is still a lot of hatred between the two communities as well, especially around these parades and these marches. So 12th of July is a big day in Northern Ireland, and an awful lot of people from Northern Ireland do come down to the south to get away from all of this kind of rioting that happens and this protesting, and a lot of things are going on. And sometimes it's this best, like, because you just get away from it all, get come down to the south, and just have the crack, have a few beers, and like the thing is, like a lot of guys from both sides of the community come down. Like there's loads of plenty of Catholics and Republican guys that come down, but a lot of Unionist guys come down too, because they're not really into, they're some of them are just family guys. Some of them are like sound. They're not into the politics things as well. Like they're raised Unionist, but like they just are more focused on themselves, their lives, their family, and they don't really have any issues with guys, because there's this kind of misconception, I think, in the world and outside of Ireland as well, that like all loyalists hate all Catholics, and it's back and forth and different things as well. But like you there are friendships between both groups as well that kind of go on as well. And of course, look, there's been a lot of crimes committed on both sides of the fence there as well. But like I have friends who I talk to who would have been raised by loyalist families and stuff, but like they're not really into any of the extreme ideology. They're not going around carping on about the UDR and the UDA and all of these, or they're not like with their no surrender and all their tattoos and stuff, and all of those guys as well. Like you could sometimes they'll call you names and stuff, but in a kind of jesty way, you Fenian this and that, and you'll say you'll throw something back of equal kind of merit, and you have the crack. So and like there's a few loyalist stick makers that watch this channel that I talk to that are all right. They don't have a problem with me. So like the thing is, 12th of July is a big event, and a lot of people just are tired and fatigued with the protesting, the violence, the everything. The thing about Northern Ireland is that like it is changing, and the best way to solve any dispute, and the dispute in Northern Ireland is a bit different, say, from other disputes in the world. Like sometimes people make the comparison to Palestine and Israel, but like Palestine and Israel, like the two sides literally want to wipe out each other completely off the face of the earth. The Northern Irish thing was more kind of like location based, geographical, where it was like a bit different. But like the best way to solve any of this disputes around the world is you bring it to a stalemate, and you keep it as a stalemate for as long as possible, and if you can drag it out over a generation or even two, and you get people working in the community so that the next generation or two that are coming up, they don't feel this injustice about them. They've and if economics and business and people start working together and everyone's making money, and the economy is doing good, usually bringing things to stalemate and improving people's financial situations and rights as well. Like like people of Palestine, like they don't have much rights, and Israel's coming down on them like a hammer, and but like if business was done a bit better, like the Abraham Accords is quite an interesting thing to look at. Saudi Arabia was signed up to that. Iran was considering it as well, and maybe that was like a solution for what was going on in the Middle East. But yeah, like it's a topic there that a lot of people around the world might be aware of. The Northern Irish thing, the England versus Ireland, the Britain versus, and then the occupied territory of the six counties, or something like that. But like it's something that, look, all Irish people are comfortable talking about. A lot of people will have an opinion on. For me, I think that it's something that's remembered. There's a lot of hurt and a lot of pain that happened during the conflict as well. Anyone who is Northern Irish knows someone who's been affected. I've known plenty of people that have had terrible things happen to them as well. So it's a topic that's is somber to talk about, but sometimes you kind of have to. But like I think that things have improved in Northern Ireland. The only problem I have with Northern Ireland at the moment is how the people are being treated. Um, both sides of the fence in terms of the economy and the jobs and the mass amount of immigration they allowed into the UK, which has caused a lot of pressure on services and public services and different things. And I think that Northern Ireland is sometimes a bit neglected in terms of investment and in terms of opportunity and in terms of like they do have some kind of business schemes and different things, but like there's a lot of hardworking people in the north, and they just don't have the opportunities as well. And I think that the north is feeling it a bit tighter than people in the south at the moment, just from conversations. I'm not sure exactly if that's the case. Let's see now. Jameson's and Bushville are yeah, the spirits are always cholesterol free, I believe. That's true. We drop or two of Crater seems to be in the order for the nerves, you know. Yeah, like the thing is, I'm raging. I'm still in fighting mood, man. Like I feel like I want to fight. This 35 minutes I've been doing this stream with all the things that have happened. There's a few other things as well that have been going on, which have been very annoying. And I'm just feel like when you feel the temper going, it's unfortunate. Like, if the wrong person talks to you at the wrong time, you just gotta snap at them, and it's hard enough to control that when you're pissed off with other things. I'm sorry for all the troubles, aggravations. Yeah, it's just it's more it's more annoyances and just frustrations. Like I think I'm feeling frustrated this week and annoyed more than like I'm not like in any mental pain or something like that. It's just all these things are just I find them annoying. And it's just they bother me like that and just make me more angry than anything. And then I get angry and I go, look, I've been working all day. Covered in dust, trying to burn off my energy. Because when you're angry, you've plenty of energy to do things. Let's see, Francis, but hang in there. You're obviously a strong man and get through this as well. Yeah, yeah, I'll get through this, man. Same, I get through everything. Like I've been through loads of things as well. You need to go fish. Actually, I do, man. That's good. That's good. The uh the fishing is definitely something I love to do. I probably need to do it for stress and for cholesterol and for all of these different things. I do miss fishing. I used to love going fishing. It was one of the things I spent most of my teenage years doing. There's loads of guys who are bullying me and smashing my fishing rod, and things are like that. The older kids would come down when I was 12 and 13, smash my rod, try to take the fish. And even though I knew all these things were a danger, I'd still go fishing because I loved it so much. I didn't care. And I kind of learned how to deal with them. Like sometimes they would hold you down and they sit in your chest and they're trying to punch you and different things. And I just it's I suppose for it shows the kind of person I am. But like it didn't really bother me. I was just like, yeah, like they're going to hit me once or twice. What are they going to do? And then I wouldn't like fight back in some instances and just stare at them. And I wouldn't back down, like and I'd keep going there and they'd be just like, yeah, whatever, and then they'd leave me alone. And a few times I stuck up for myself, they stopped as well. And even though like you'd be outnumbered and you'd get a punch or two, sometimes when you just stuck up for yourself as a young lad, they're like, all right, he's standing up to himself against us. The odds are against him, and they kind of just left me alone then. John says you missed the outcome. It froze back. Yeah, yeah, you can watch that back there later. It's an annoying process. It takes about to a few months to get your money back. It's held with UK customs. UPS usually wash their hands of it once they whip the money from your account, and you just have to wait then and go through this process of filling out forms and different things. So it's a cautionary tale to be very careful when you're sending something to a customer to put down the correct value, because like if you put down the wrong value on the package when you're shipping it, and the customer gets stung for a lot, it's going to leave a bad taste in their mouth, and they will blame you, and it can leave a bad taste. So this guy just forgot to put the dot in there, like it's such an innocent mistake. But I'm not annoyed with the supplier. They were sound once I got speaking to the right person. They admitted straight away, and they said, "Look, anything we can do to help." And they're actually pretty sound about it as well. Like anyone in the UK, man, they got shafted with Brexit, man. Like like you won't hear this from any an Irishman. I'm starting to feel sorry for people in the UK. They've got it pretty tougher than most. The government and Sunak and these guys, man, are a joke. And Labour's not going to solve anything. Politics in the UK has just got really, really bizarre. And I don't think I think Labour's going to make it worse when they come in if they do well in the election. Sunak's gone, and these are all solvable things and different things as well. But I have an interest in politics. I'll talk about it. I'll always give my opinion on that as well. I don't mind talking about difficult politics and different things. I usually have a kind of balanced opinion. I'm not angry or hate anyone. I don't really. There's a few people like in the stick community that I don't like a lot, but I genuinely don't hate them. Like I wouldn't like wish them on anything. The majority of people can't be arsed with the marches on both sides. Better to get down exactly. Like a lot of like most guys now, they're just like thing is, when you're a teenager and you're a young lad, a bit of a ruckus, the bonfires, the shouting at the other side, the our team against your team type of mentality. Like you can kind of see that with guys, but like what happens is like on both sides, guys are in their 30s and 40s. Then they have families, they have kids. The last thing they want to do is see violence around all of these parades and different things as well. And here's the thing, you know, people on both sides have blackthorn. It's kind of is Blackthorn is united. All the boys in the orange parade, man, are marching with Blackthorn, and all the Catholic guys have our Blackthorn as well. So I find that quite amusing that that Blackthorn is a it actually does unify people from both sides. But yeah, like the thing is, I think you have to kind of have a kind of balanced approach for this. But I don't really hate anyone too much. Let's see. I think I'll be making black coddle on the 12th of July. Yeah, like you know, I probably would leave the Northern Ireland too on the 12th or different things as well. Let's see. When it comes to Palestine, from my understanding, Israel wants to wipe out Palestinians, but Palestinians just want to live and not be occupied. Yeah, but they also genuinely want to eradicate Israelis. Like if you go to the like any of the like the communications on Hamas and you know with the PLO and all of these different things, they both have a very strong hatred for everyone. And look, a little very quick history on that for anyone who knows. Like what happened is Britain or UK was in control of where Israel was, and they had some issues with Turkey, the Ottomans and stuff. So the Arabs, which were the Palestinians, they said to them, "Hey, you help us defeat the Turks, we'll give you some land." You know all of this. Then the Israelis, they kind of said the same thing to as well. And you know, after World War II, like with Israelis, they were all displaced. They wanted to go back to where they were connected to, but the Arabs had been there for quite some time, had a big history as well. And like the UK basically or Britain promised both sides to say, hey guys, you know, you can have the land here. And then once the job was done against Ottomans and the Turks, the British were like, we're out of here, guys, sort it out yourselves. And yeah, that kind of like, you know, kind of I'm giving a very basic type of little background to it now. You know, there's obviously more, but like it's not a conflict that I don't think is easily solved. Because like what is happening to the Palestinians is horrific. You know, that's a fact. That's not like opinion and stuff. Our crimes committed on both sides, of course. Has the Israeli response been quite over the top to what happened on October 7th, which was a bad thing to happen as well, of course. So it is something that is genuinely just sad. Like if you have any morsel of emotion in your body or you actually are human, you cannot but feel genuine sadness for what is happening and what has happened. And it's just this vicious cycle of hate that is going on that it doesn't look like there's any solution for. And it is horrific. Like, you know, the thing about like all those Ukrainians, man, who are like, you know, they're running out of soldiers and different things as well. Russian have offered the truce to say, look, we'll hold the positions that we have, and or I think the Russians' solution, as I understand it at the moment, is say, look, we'll hold all the positions we occupy now. Don't join NATO. The war's over. That's it. And Ukraine is like, nah, we're not going to that. But like, you know, the next 12 months are going to be quite important in the world and in history. I think because there's a lot of big decisions have to be made. I think the Ukraine Russian conflict could be brought to some kind of stalemate, and then you know it's not going to be an easy process as well. I feel like the Palestinian and the of course the Israeli situation is way more complex, way more nuanced as well. And you know, when you take different sides and different things, I know proportional in terms of what has happened against the Palestinians. A lot of people in Ireland march and they wear the kufa and they have a lot of support for it as well. And but like it's not like every Israeli is, you know, evil as well. Like a lot are just regular guys, want to get on with their life. They've just born in this territory. They've been born into these different things. Um, I think like when they do their isn't it 2 years or 3 years military service and different things, they sometimes a lot of them they're put into a culture where they have to hate the Palestinians and different things. I've spoken to a lot of Israelis over the years, and not too many Palestinians, but Palestinians have always been pretty close to Irish and Ireland, and they do display a lot of flags, and they did support, Irish unity and different things as well. And over the 80s, there were a lot of connections between. So again, it's one of those things as well. And it's more than just geographical, I think, in there. And you have like the Arabs, and like but the thing is, like, if all the Arab nations are starting to kind of, because the thing is with Arabs as well, you have like different kind of like groups, and they are starting to unite a little bit against what is happening. And I don't, honestly, I don't think there's going to be a happy ending in this one. I think it's going to end pretty badly, and I think that yeah, it's going to spark off a number of events. So it's yeah, it's going to be one of those things. I wish I had a better, more optimistic outcome, but I think that's my kind of realistic. But I have more opinions on it as well. You need to keep a bottle of Bushmills whiskey in when you calm down. I do. I need something to calm me down. Like, I started working my anger away today, because, like, it's just the principle of just, they took 2,200 euro out of my account just like that, for someone just putting down on a customs form. And I just feel like they shouldn't, like, that whole process is like ridiculous that this can happen. And apparently it happens often. It's not just me. Like, when I spoke to the UPS manager, she's like, "Oh, at least it's not 30,000, like, because the value of what I lost wasn't as much as other people." She was just very dismissive of it, which was kind of thing. Spud is giving me the thumbs up in the beer. Appreciate that. Let's see. Thank you for showing me your shop yesterday. I love my new stick. Also appreciate the book. You're a good man, Francis. Yeah, great meeting you as well, Steve. It's a pleasure for you to come to my shop, and I hope your wife, you said, was in Beaufort, and maybe she's feeling a bit better and stuff as well. And hope you enjoy your trip around Ireland. I know you lost your stick, one time. Pop over to Sweden for a break. I might do. I've always wanted to go to Sweden as well. Like, I've been to a few countries. I haven't been to Sweden yet. Um, I kind of wanted to. I was actually thinking of going to Sweden during COVID, when Sweden. The one thing I liked about Sweden was, during COVID, they kind of was like, yeah, this is, let's just leave people leave our lives and go out and do things. So I thought that, I kind of admired, like, how that was managed. Of course, like, there's other aspects of Sweden too that needs to be helped and stuff. And I actually have a good friend from there who's in the band. Or is he from Norway? I can't remember. He joins here sometimes as well. It's the Warriors way. The more noise they make, the more it drives you. That's so true as well. Let's see. Steve has the opinion here. He says, "No, Palestine believe they own Israel. God gave Israel the 12 Jewish tribes thousands of years ago during Bible times. Palestinians are terrorists as well." Okay, and let's see. Toger says, "Francis, for F's sake, don't go there." Oh yeah, yeah. Look, it's fine to just kind of, like, it's one of these things that people just want to talk about to get off their chest as well. Um, have Palestinians done acts of terrorism? Of course. Has the Israeli armed forces done things of terrorism? Yeah, they have as well. And it's like, you know, but proportionally, the Israelis have done a bit more. So it's like one of these things. But, like, the thing is, you can, for me, I have a lot of sympathy, but, like, I have no connection to that part of the world. I have no relatives in that part of the world. I know no one who's been affected by that. So I don't really have a strong emotional connection to this conflict, that I'm going to invest a lot of time into researching it and do different things. All I really know is just very surface level of some politics, or sorry, some history. Yeah, going back, like, I am aware of the 12 tribes and different things as well. Um, but yeah, but these things don't really affect my life too much, and I have no direct connection to them. So when I go to sleep at night, I'm not thinking about the conflict in Palestine. I'm not thinking about Israel. I'm not thinking about Ukraine or Russia. Sometimes I do think about Jeremy Powell and the inflation in America, because it might affect my business. Um, and then, like, this election that's coming up with Biden and Trump and stuff. That concerns my business a lot. Like, there's only one thing that Trump does that I'm not a little bit concerned of. He wants to put a 10% tariff on goods coming into the country. So that would affect my walking stick business. So if I think that's the only thing that I've seen in his policies that what would affect my business. It's like a 10% charge on any import that's coming into the country. So yeah, I'll probably have to absorb that into my fees or something like that. Hello to Frank and Aaron as always as well. I didn't get you guys a good look at some of the sticks I've made today. Like I have actually made a few sticks. Like here's actually a naturally occurring crook handle I put in the site. It is Turga says, "You're a good man." Yes, I try to be. I try to be a good man, but it's not easy. But like the thing is, sometimes I think you shouldn't really keep silent on talking about difficult topics, like whether I've talked about cancer. I've kind of given my opinion, which on the Ukraine thing. Obviously it didn't start recently; it's going all the way back to 2014. Obviously, the Ukrainian forces were doing a lot of crimes against the guys in the Donbass region. The Donbass guys were saying, "Yeah, we identify more Russian," and then it all there's never good guys and bad guys in any conflict. Everything's kind of gray and different things, and sometimes you have to kind of just talk about these things. It's fine to give your opinion. If someone has a different opinion to me about something, I goes all right, and I'll try to listen to them and I'm perfectly open to changing my opinions on different things, but like I just find I'm not emotionally connected to any of these regions of the world where I'm deeply affected by it. Like, of course, on a human level, I have great sympathy for anyone suffering because, like, I've gone through cancer myself and different things. But like, being very honest as well, I just have no connection to this part of the world. And like, I have a connection to Northern Ireland. I have connection in Southeast Asia as well. And it's you're kind of the Northern Irish thing, I do have a direct connection to my dad's family as well, and crimes that were committed against my family members up in the north, and some horrific things have happened to family members in the north. I haven't even like really gone into that and the channel here as well, but some bad things have happened, I think, to a lot of people up there. So I would have like an emotional connection of kind of what's gone on up there over the years, and I've seen things and things have happened to me up there as well, and but my advice to all of you guys like watching this is you know if you're kind of getting angry about all of these conflicts about the world, like just let them rattle around in your head for 10 minutes and just let them go then. Don't go to bed at night wanting, to confront Nahu Yaru or whatever your man's name is in Israel, or you want to go and your issues with Zelensky, or you've issues with Greta Thunberg going to the Ukraine. That was one I had an issue with actually. She went to Ukraine and there's a picture of her and Zelensky, and I'm like, why is this like teenage kid who's autistic and she's an eco warrior one? Why is she in the Ukraine taking pictures with Zelensky and rolling her out like and all the PR things they do with her? It's just a bit weird. Like it's a bit weird. But like it's something that I think is okay to talk about with friends, give your opinions in a group and discuss them. But like don't let these conflicts consume you and your thoughts and occupy your mind. Like they don't deserve much real estate in your mind or your memory because you have a life, you have a family, you have your job. And if you just focus on improving yourself, improving your life, doing better, a lot of you guys here in the community do need walking aids. As you seen earlier, people have rotary cuff injuries, they're going through surgeries. So I speaking to guys that are going through real battles. Like if you're going through rotary cuff surgeries and different things, the last thing you want to give time to is what's going on in the Middle East or something like that. You have your own battle, you have to focus on your own health, eating right. You have to focus on your recovery. You have to focus on keeping your mind healthy because after surgery, it's like you're kind of bored. If you're a man who's active and you're used to doing like a lot of things, when you have your surgery and afterwards, you're just like you need something to do. And some people go to YouTube and watch content and live streams and interact. Some people, if you're feeling a bit lonely after an operation, you start chatting to people online, chatting to strangers, chatting to anyone who listens to you, and um you know just always my message is quite clear in terms of like what I tell guys in this community is just focus on yourself. If you are going through a battle, and a lot of you in this community are going through real battles, personal battles with injuries, with struggles, with recurring injuries as well. And that should be your focus. And if a lot of guys in this community, they are down to their last few days and last few years with us on this earth, and you should value your time. Look, if you do get something and the news is bad and you've only got a certain amount of time left, then make it count and contribute to your family, try to create something, make some content about that, and you know go in the way that you want to. Like, just don't let some bad news from a doctor occupy your mind where you're going to be angry about it the whole time. Like, just use your time well, and try to improve yourself. And this is kind of what you guys, I say to you guys when I'm chatting to you as well. I do make walking sticks. I've been talking kind of about different things as well. I think like it's fine for digressing from it as well. For this, here's a nice little. I like this one because it's rare, because it has the crook handle, kind of unusual as well. Let's see. I'll show you guys a few more. We've 5 minutes left. I'll show you guys sticks for the last few minutes. Um, Here's a nice one. It's got a nice little head in it. Turned out pretty nice. Guys with a bit of a bigger hand. Nice little walking stick. I don't know how little it is. I think it's like 37. I think it might be 38 inches. I've all these up on the sites and the measurements and stuff. It's a nice little stick. When you're guy interested in it, it's more than a nice stick. That'll be sold over the weekend. Those type of sticks always sell fast. Um, I got into the bendy sticks this week. I made like with that crook handle one. It's very well balanced. Like, there's a bit of a bend and stuff in it, but it's actually quite cool, and it actually does look pretty good as well. Um, I've still continued with the root handles. I've made these guys have been pretty popular for me as well. So, nice little root handle. This is all made from one piece of wood. It's one of the things that I'm known for in my style, is making a one piece stick. One piece sticks, they would be a bit kind of stronger. So I've made this stick as well. I'll show you guys a few more sticks. This stick was a bit weird, but like, it turned out pretty well. I'll show you this guy. I made a lot of these sticks that are a bit bendy this week. Here's the one that's like, it's kind of hard to take a picture of it because like it's bendy in all the places, but it's really well balanced. And like, it's got this little handle, but it just feels really comfortable. It's just like one of these handles that sits pretty well, but it doesn't take a good picture. But like, it's actually quite a nice little stick. And I've left the kind of bends and stuff, but like all the bends are kind of balanced. Like, when you're taking a picture, they look like there's all bends, but like it's very well balanced. Like, there's this little bend at the end, but it counters one of the bends up here. It actually is a pretty nice stick as well. This is on the website right now. Here's the kind of wait, I think I have a 37-inch stick here. This one's kind of a bit weird. Here's another root stick, and like, it's got like one of these kind of root handles, and nice little stick, fits into your hands well. And it's not that little; it's 37 inches, something like that. It is a pretty good stick as well. This one's a bit straighter than a few of those bendy ones. So I have one, two. I think this one's pretty bendy too. Yeah, this one's quite a nice stick. I went for the natural bark on this one. Um, I've uploaded this to site. Again, the grip on this is really comfortable. It's actually quite well. Um, these type of sticks that they kind of sit pretty well in the hand, because like your hand just kind of goes in here at a nice little angle, and this is kind of like there's a bit of a bend in this as well, as you can see. But as you can see, like, even though there's a bends and different things, it's quite balanced. It's very well balanced. Like, it sets up like perpendicular to where your hand is from the bottom of the ground. This is actually quite nice. This is nicer than the pictures. It's actually quite a nice stick as well. I've done two more kind of root sticks. Actually, wait. Is this one a root stick? This one's definitely a root stick anyway. So if you're looking for a root stick, I think there's a few guys looking for this type of handle as well. If you really need it as a walking aid, these kind of L-shaped ones are the business as well. Um, I think that's kind of like that's important to do. I'll answer a few questions now in a minute. I'll just show a few more of these. This stick is quite nice. There's a nice little handle. I stained this a little bit for color. Sometimes I'll stain them a little bit if I think they just need something to make them look cooler. I have a few more as well. Let me catch up on a few of these questions before I go. Are you trying to avoid the dishes always? I hate doing chores around the house. Like, when you're a working man and you come home, like, the last thing you want to do is like be doing chores and stuff like that. Love the handle, appreciate that. Let's see. Corn Keeling says, "Have you ever made a shillelagh using oak, or do you use blackthorn?" Yes, I look oak. If you go to my website, McCaffreycrafts.com, I have some oak, Irish oak, and I think I have more oak as well. But I can't. It's really at the back of my shed, and I've thrown a load of sticks in front of it, so it's going to take me a while to get through to it. But I do have an oak section on my site. Mostly, I probably sooner or later I'll get into oak. I have a load of holly wood, and holly is an amazing wood. It's actually quite pale, so it kind of looks plain, but it's really really strong. There's great for. I can get really nice big handles on them as well, and it is quite a dense heavy wood. But yeah, I do, to answer your question. Yeah, I use oak, and oak is a beautiful wood to do. Sometimes like the Irish oak, is like it comes out like really pale a little bit sometimes. It's like a weird type of thing. Actually, I'm meeting a guy tomorrow morning who said they have a bunch of wood for me. That actually just reminded me. He has like a bunch of wood cut that he cut for a while, and I have to meet him at 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow. And he's going to show me. He said he's got all kinds of woods. He said he doesn't know. He's cut like loads of wood. It's all there, and it's going in the wood chipper unless I go and look at it. And luckily, he decided to call me and tell me this beforehand. I like the bendy sticks as well. Let's see. Do you plan on making videos on how to work with oak if you haven't already? Um, the thing about oak is like you usually have to take the bark off of oak because like there's a nice wood grain, but like the grain is kind of a bit weird. So sometimes with oak when you're trying to work with it and work with the grain, like it's not as smooth to kind of work with. I don't know how to explain it. I'll get a bit of oak sometime, but yeah, like oak is a great wood, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult to actually work with and sand with, and you take out your planer, you try to remove the bark, and then sometimes it's just that if there's like various knots, like a wood knot. There's like a various knot that you get within the oak, or within the oak, and sometimes you have issues with the way the wood grain is going when you're trying to like smooth it out and make it as well. And but yeah, like oak is perfectly fine to work with. There's loads of variations of oak around the world. I only have experience of working with Irish oak. Oak does crack a bit too, but not as much as blackthorn during the seasoning process. And yeah, it's a good strong wood that I'd recommend Keelan, so you can definitely check that out. Adamus says, "You're a good man, Francis, and great stream. Very good. Glad you like listen to it as well." And I always give my opinions on different things. I just wanted to kind of warn people about that. If you are someone who sells goods to people and you put down the wrong amount on the customs form, the customer gets stung. And it's not like they listen to you like, oh, that was a mistake. They're like mafioso style, and they come trying to take your money no matter what. Like it's so always be very careful with, if you are returning an item, put down a lower customs value on it. If you're sending an item, put down a lower custom value. Make sure you put the little dot in there as well. If you forget to put the dot in there, customs will charge the person receiving it like a huge amount. They've really got a bit annoying to deal with. Now, for me and for my customers, I will always put, and I double check my customs forms, and I have never ever made a mistake on putting down an incorrect value. I always put a nice value or a lower value or a value that you won't get taxed on. I know some of the rules in different states. If the package is under $300, you don't get the tax or the cost. You're not supposed to get customs taxes unless the amount you're ordering is over like $300 or $400, or I think it's like 800 in certain states. Some states is like 300. Canada's the weird one where like they charge customs on a lot of things. It's not a lot of, and if you put a lower value on, but Canada sometimes you have to like fill out some extra information. But like I'm doing this long enough, I know how to do it and give you guys the best value and work. I know workarounds with the customs because usually I fill out all the customs forms. You see, I'm a business, so it's not like I'm just selling it as a kind of personal sending gifts to people. So when you have a business and you're sending a large quantities like me, you have to play by the rules and you have to fill out the forms. And they every now and again you come under the spotlight of customs and they ask you questions. And wait till you guys who sell sticks have to deal with U.S. customs, and the importation of foreign woods department and all these guys, which have I had. Um, you can do it, but it's just like tedious stuff that you just have to like spend a day or two researching. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for joining to this live stream. I hope you enjoyed those few pieces of blackthorn here. One little more blackthorn I made. It's on the website, 32 inches for some of my height, my size. Nice little stick. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you supporting for McCaffrey Crafts. July is usually my quietest month of the year, so if you're interested in blackthorn, it's a great time of year to buy, because usually in July, if any of you guys do pay attention, I usually put some of my nicest sticks up because it's such a quiet month. So it's one of the best times of the year to buy with McCaffrey Crafts, because I usually hold out a nice few streams a nice few sticks that I can do as well. Glad to have seen the streams. Can't seem to wait the next one. Thank you, Keelan. Appreciate you joining the stream and contributing and asking questions. And anyone who joins the stream, it's always good to contribute. You can give your opinions. You can ask questions about Irish culture, Irish crafts, and different things like that. I'm always quite happy to give my opinions. And an opinion can be wrong. There's no, it's fine to discuss about these things. I think it's quite important in the world. And I think that people with different opinions should have a chat together and hang out. And it's like two different football teams, Man United or Liverpool fans sitting down having a chat. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you, Mary. Give your father my regards. I will. I will. He'll be watching this probably as well. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Talk to you later. Bye bye.